and this is the first time with someone, like one single person, he's like so open, and I'm glad that way. Well, and it's a different mood change for him, because every time anybody who he's meeting is all about work. So,
But
and it's not work when it is you. So it's
no,
actually
it's
nice.
never about work. Correct, correct. None of these things will come in the podcast anyway.
Yeah,
Only,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I trust you totally. That's it. Is
Sir keeps an tab on this journey, man. He does watch
yeah, yeah,
podcasts from time to time.
yeah, yeah. I've noticed him. I've seen him checking. I've
Hmm.
seen him checking your stories. I've seen, like, he's right there and he's checking. So
Huh?
the accounts that keeps popping up are the regular ones. So yours was there, and he sees story. Yeah, he sees. He definitely makes sure that he thanks the whole team after the project is over, because he knows the chaos that each one of us go through under him. He makes sure he mails the whole team, thanks everybody for putting in. Yeah, that he now takes care of, like, asking about health. If somebody is like overworked, just no, you go and rest.
चीज़ चीज़ बड़ी चीज़ चीज़ ओ मेरी जान चीज़ चीज़ बड़ी चीज़ चीज़ ओ मेरी
We're good to go then.
Yes, please.
Oh my goodness, Nitish Kumar in the house. And we made it, man. We made it.
made it from made it from which movie we started? We started Cobras first. We started with some movie, met there, and then it's more than three,
Yeah, of
four
course. Yeah,
months now.
we're going to touch on all those aspects. But I'm very excited, man. I've been
I'm
actually
I'm
looking
glad to
forward to.
be I'm
I've
glad to be on your
Thank
on
you.
your channel here, right here.
I've been very, very looking forward to talking to you for sure because when I met you for the first time, I mean, like, I, there was a connect and we kind of exchanged energies and then we kind of hit off very well right at that point. And then,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and I'm sure I want to go back and rekindle some of those memories. So, dude, we met in Chennai
Yes.
in June. And so the best part is I was there at the studio, and then coincidentally enough, you also came in from somewhere. You had then just flown in from Mumbai, I think,
But
from memory.
yes.
And then so glad you recognized me and asked, "Oh, are you Chanda by any chance?" And then, man, that very moment I felt famous, man. Come on, I'm like, oh, someone recognized me, and
Come
that too in
on,
Sir's
everybody
studio.
follows your
I'm just
stuff.
joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No, not do, but this is true. But everybody does follow your stuff. Like, I think very hardcore, because a lot of updates about movies, Sirs, and the fun side of Sir comes out from your channel only. Nobody has it. Nobody has that information. So
I mean,
yeah. So
I would
that's
like
really
to
good.
know as much as possible, dude. That's all.
No, true. That is true. Because so many times, so many singers that you have covered and engineers that you have covered,
Yeah.
they have done such immense amount of work that the crediting goes, like, I don't know how deep. So the stories behind every song, the
Yeah.
time spent with Sir and all the work, it
Yeah.
only comes via you, and there's no other source. And really lucky that that happens also, because I think it's the fun segment in the heavy pile of work that comes out of from Sir Studio. So that's the fun segment, I feel. And I've been following myself for I don't know how long. I can't count.
Wow.
It's even before your lockdown. So many simple pictures, also simple updates on movies that sometimes even we are unaware, because we are so much into finishing the
Yeah.
song and working. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you
So
so
that
much, man. It
ways
means a lot.
immediately, like, I entered and hey, this is Chandra. And I was so happy to see you. I was so happy to see you because I know that you're in US. So I was so happy to see you. Chennai, wow. So that's great. Like, sir must be having him here. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the thing is, I mean, how should I put it? With this whole journey and this platform uh, that has been, how should I put it? I don't want to say I created it. It probably I would like to say that it seems like it was meant to be. It just
Yes.
happened, and then I didn't have any intentions of going ahead and creating something like this. It just happened.
Yeah.
And then what I was trying to say here was the fact that This is probably the platform or the opportunity for the likes of yourselves and everyone who has worked with Sir in any shape or form to express
True.
to
Yeah, yeah.
their journey, their experience, their memories, and things like that, which gets documented. And then
Absolutely.
2 years down the line, if you go back and revisit your own podcast or interview, and then I do it as well, it would bring a smile. I want to create and cherish these memories. That's
True,
why
true.
I'm so excited
Totally
about
agree.
every
Because
single podcast.
I think most of the people who work in this field, I think they're a little shy
Hmm.
kind of people, and
Correct.
it's very less that they open up and
True.
they speak up about the experience, because it's all such small
Indeed.
stories that, when the world comes to know, we're like, wow, this is how it actually happened. So because everybody connects their whole life with that one song,
Correct.
and then they connect people, they connect, but they do not know how the song was created. So this comes
Indeed.
out with the really close people, and I think it should come out like it is every song comes out with
Indeed.
its own story, and its own luck, in its own magic and soulfulness that Sir puts in it.
Right.
So yeah, it should come out.
Indeed.
And yours channel is the best source at the moment. I really wish that it grows and grows and grows so big that brands start coming to you.
No, no, no.
And
I've had a few inquiries from certain media companies and also certain brands, and I've
yeah.
declined all of those.
Oh wow.
I've not gone ahead
Keeping it
with any
special.
of those. So I just wanted to keep it super raw, and
Yeah.
also at the same time, I've been doing this entire journey with absolute respect and integrity, and then I don't want that essence to be lost, and then I'm doing it single-handedly again, and no returns
Mm.
whatsoever. I don't get a
Correct.
single dollar out of anything, but
Correct.
hundreds and hundreds of hours of my own
This
time invested
is
in this. But I love it.
yeah.
It's like a fulfilling experience for me. That's
Yes,
what
yes.
gives
This
me
is
happiness.
love. This is just love. This is just our love for Sir. We know that we love Sir. There is no question about it.
Indeed,
Well,
indeed.
I've never mentioned it to Sir, but the love that I have for him, I think it's unexpressible. So there's no words. It's not just his work. It is the persona that he is. It is the
Correct.
vibe that he passes on. It
Rightly.
is what he has taught me personally or to our team. So
Yeah.
that changes, because I think that also translates into the song.
Hmm.
Like,
Very true.
what he gives and receives, and what we receive from him
Hmm.
goes straight into the song. Because I think every song, if it's a producer on the song, a programmer on the song, or a musician, or a final mix engineer who is the final guy from where
Hmm.
the song is going to go out, it's his vibes that is going to go in it, and those vibes are directly from Sir. So I think it's pure, and it's the love you, me,
Very
and
true.
our whole team has
Amazing.
for him. Yeah.
And that's why it's ARR forever, man.
Oh
Hashtag
yes.
ARR forever.
Yes.
And
True.
and the thing is the point that you said where it's all about uh, the intention and the energy that you put in when you work on something.
Oh
Similar
yeah.
thing like even when you're in the kitchen and cooking something,
True. Yeah.
you cook something out of love to serve it to someone. It's
True.
going
True.
to turn out amazing no matter what,
Yes. Yes.
right?
The
And you
the
don't even
genuine
have to
effort.
go and test it or taste it once you have made it. You can be so confident that it is going to be so good, right?
Yes.
I
Yes.
know it's not a great analogy, but
No, no, but it
good
is
to me.
very, very close to it. I recently had this amazing session with All About Music, such a great panel.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff these guys are doing since like last 5 years now. All About Music, Tarse
Mm.
Mittal, Sunny, and all these people. And so many important people they get on their panel to talk about. And this was one of my most important example, because it's like cooking great food. It has to smell good, it has to look good, and finally it has to also taste good. So
Yeah.
imagine the kind of energy and love we have to put in it, that every soul and every heart is touched. So
True.
that's what Sir does. So when he
Yeah.
sits in the song, you must see him work. Oh my god, the focus,
I
hands
agree.
down, nobody has focus like that. I have not seen anybody with that level of focus.
I agree. I mean, when I was there recently in Chennai, I had the experience of
Oh
actually
yes.
seeing him work in his personal space, and I was
Oh
just so
yes.
blown away, and I had no words. And either way,
True.
so um, Also, what's the other bit? The other bit in the same context as what you just described is the number of people working on every track and every
Oh yeah.
tiny bit of music. So, as a classic example, I mean, like when the Ponni Nadi single came out for the first time, like the first one that came out, Ponni and Selvan, right? Uh, I was just looking at the credits. Obviously,
Mhm.
when it released on YouTube, just out of curiosity, look at the number of people who have worked on that one track, man. One
Yes.
track. And
You'll
so
start
many
counting.
people.
It'll be some 60 people on one track.
Crazy, man. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
How many musicians, how many tracking, and how many studios and engineers, and
Yeah,
plus
correct.
how many people sir thought that is going to be the right person for this track.
Yeah.
That knowledge and experience only sir can do. And plus he produces himself, he sits on the track, starts producing, he takes it to a level, then he takes these 3 4 important people, puts them together. That forming a team is it's not easy.
True, true, true.
So
Yeah.
and then from there further going to the hierarchy, like it's a long list
Yeah.
of people. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure we're going to deep dive into all those aspects. I can't wait to hear it from you. And I can already tell this is going to be a long podcast, man. And it's going to be a,
My area would be all like what all the Hindi, because I am responsible for all the Hindi movies. I
yeah,
am like highly responsible for all sir's Hindi movies. So
yeah.
yeah, I have good stories about all the Hindi albums.
Perfect.
And Tamil,
Perfect.
yes, obviously I'm always a part of every project, but yeah, Hindi
Great.
is like huge responsibility for me.
For sure.
Competition, responsibility, etc. Yeah.
For sure. One of the things that I definitely want to ask you before I forget is the entire star cast of Pony and Selvan were
Oh
there
yeah.
at the Mumbai studio. How
Oh
come
yes.
they landed up there and what was the story? Tell me everything about it.
Oh, and suddenly it was already in, I think they were already in the routine of Hyderabad had a music
Correct.
launch, like a soft music launch, and Mumbai also had a music
Yeah.
launch with Tips Music, etc.
Yes.
I had no plan. I was working at the studio, our team was already there,
Mm.
and suddenly I get a call from sir. Hey Nitish, the whole team is coming. get get things arranged, get this, get that, and everything should be there in place. And I was like, sir, whole team, yeah, everybody, Aishwarya, Karthi, Mani sir, everyone. So he started naming it. I go, oh my god, sir, I'll just quickly. It was so like they were already on the way to the studio,
Okay.
and boom, from the lift comes out Mani sir, then Karthi, then after a while Aishwarya, then Trisha, then sir. And it was crazy. Well, it was a good blessing to the studio. Also, it's just so new right now,
Mm.
and some really important people are coming, so that's really good. Our Suresh was also there from Chennai. A couple of people there were there from
Mm.
Chennai already.
Mm.
And then it was like a bonkers. Everybody went crazy. It's like the whole star cast and the whole team, and everybody was there. Oh, that was
Mm.
a little crazy.
And
And
yeah,
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 yeah.
keep going.
No, so nothing. So it was all a chill vibe there. So everybody was so excited seeing this studio. So sir was so excited in showing the studio.
Nice.
And yeah, so it was a lovely time. Yeah.
So good. And what was I going to say? So every engineer got an opportunity to take a picture.
Yeah. So not every engineer, every person on that floor, every person on that floor was so lucky that night that Suresh and me, had the thing courage to, ki, sir, the whole team wants picture with the whole PS team. So like, yeah, why not? Come. So it was like- and just we just did it. Went for it.
Oh, super.
It was a cool vibe, so we could ask for it. Yeah.
Very nice. Great.
Yeah.
Nice. And did they get to experience any of the stuff that you were working on or?
Uh Not that, but they had a little moment where Sir was on the piano,
Oh,
and
oh yeah.
and
And that's
everybody
where that
requested.
picture, Trisha and Ashwarya.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and no, not that picture. That picture was just so. There's another room,
Okay.
like the KM school room, which had another piano, and everybody started requesting their songs. Everybody, in the sense, like Ashwarya wanted one song from Sir,
Mm.
Trisha wanted, and Vikram ji wanted. Vikram ji was shooting the whole session like really like a proper DOP. And he was asking Sir Dilse, somebody was asking Sir Ponni Nadi, somebody was asking Sir theme of PS. So everybody just started asking. Then Tamila. So it was like a personal session just for these 7 people, this whole star cast,
Very nice.
and a couple of people in that room, and it was magical. So Sir went in the full flow,
Oh wow.
playing the piano and singing.
Wow, so good.
So that
So
was like only Sir's phone has that videos, those videos. Ashik was shooting it.
maybe one day he will share it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, great. And what else? So how long were they there?
How long? Quite long. They all came at 9. They left at 12.
Ah, oh
Yeah,
wow.
had snacks, food, having fun. So
What
checking out all the rooms, studios.
what snacks, man? I'm curious.
Us. Sir wanted some coffees and teas and lot of sandwiches. So
Oh,
they were just eating
nice.
lot of things. There's
Nice.
puffs and samosas, everything. Just whatever I could bring in. I'm responsible for the Bombay studio, so I have to look at every side of it.
Superb.
I
Love
have
it.
to be an engineer also, and I have to be everything.
So good.
Yeah.
And one more thing that I'm gonna ask you is, so Imtiaz was there at the studio yesterday.
Yes. So right when they were just finishing, about to leave, that's when Imtiaz and Irshad ji, both of them, Imtiaz ji and Irshad ji, they just came because they were already visiting from last 4 days. Their
Yeah,
movie is on.
yeah.
So a lot of recordings and trials, and Sir is trying a song, and it's sounding crazy. I can't tell you even.
Huh?
It's I'm so excited about that album, and it'll be like a bomber back in Hindi.
Sir has sung in
It,
it. No?
Sir has sung all the songs like a scratch for now.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's trying new, fresh voices and singers. Yeah,
Right.
so
I'm sure
that'll
there should
be.
be there'll be one track with Mohit.
I hope so.
Okay.
So I hope so. That'll be magical. Yeah.
Right. And so did you say my hello to Imtiaz or not yesterday?
Yes. So he was because so if there were so many people, while I was telling him, he was just
Right.
because they were also leaving, and also I think Imtiaz were more keen in catching Sir and starting the work, because Sir Meister also left with him. So, left with everybody. So then to don his song is that he'll have to
Yeah.
wait.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's just that I know how hard you guys work. Like it's and you guys work till the
it's
last
it's
minute.
not even, I won't even call it hard, because somebody who's very passionate and
Yeah.
somebody who's working with Sir. I've never found it like, it's like hard working, or I've
Yeah.
never found it we are working very hard and we are
Mm,
tired and all that, because it's the passion, it's the way we wanted it to be. We chose it, and we chose it because we loved it.
mm.
So with Sir's music, it's never like that. So either you dedicate yourself completely. It's like a dhyanam, yeah. It's like complete dhyanam, and you get into it. Then only it turns out really well. You can't have like two different minds. Not
You can't
possible.
have you can't have too many distractions either.
Yes. It's exactly like that. It's the focus. Otherwise, you won't. Personally, also in career wise, you won't touch where you dreamt of. You want to be at the top 3 people. Counting in this when it comes to your
Mm.
singing, when it comes to your programming or mixing. You cannot do that if you're divided between 4 different things. So yeah, this is your private life then. So music is your private life. Yeah.
Right. Great. And since you mentioned about the fact that you've been with in Chennai for a long, long time, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
with the 10-15 minutes of interaction that you and I had at the studio, and even when Jerry came in, and then like
Yeah.
that our conversations lit up.
Yeah.
I'm
Jerry
very
is like
keen to
that.
hear
Old buddy.
some of those memories of you and Jerry, going out for breakfast, and then
Oh yeah, that was
Saranaban
a
and all that.
routine. Yeah, that was a very specific, like fixed routine. Every day, Jerry and me will work throughout the night,
Yeah.
and most of the action happens after like 9 p.m., 10 p.m., because it's a little less, less number of phone calls and less disturbing,
Yeah.
lesser people. So we are able to finish. Jerry and me have worked on multiple projects together. To be very specific, like Coke Studio was Jerry and me, like through and throughout, like
Oh.
completely. I needed him very badly for the project, and then he even helped me on projects like Ranjana.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was like a routine. We would work all night and prep it, and all sir's brief and all the mixes were continuously happening. Early morning, 7 o'clock, we'll be hungry, and Jerry had a scooty, and Jerry said, "Ki okay, let's go." And I would know no place, and he knew that one Sarana Bhavan that opens exactly at 6:30 and 6 o'clock and all. So he'll go. We'll have those mini meals, and we'll be fine. And sometimes I'll take him to my hotel's breakfast. We'll sneak in, it, and
Yeah.
we'll just chumma like, yeah, this guy is also staying with us, so we'll have two breakfasts. And then yeah, we had fun. We had too much fun. We worked a lot, and we also have balanced it out well back in Chennai. So and Jerry used to stay just 2 minutes walking distance from
Yeah.
Sir, but he will still get his scooty. So yeah, so that's how it was. So Jerry and me go a lot of work we have done together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So good. And I'm sure you'd have had breakfast catch-ups with Sir too, right?
yeah,
Any
every
of
time.
those
So if
memories?
he's working all night with us, definitely all the people around him, engineers or any singer, we have that breakfast and his favorite idli. And
Exactly
like,
right. Like even the day when I came there and we were having a chat, and then he was like, "Seri va idli sapda polam."
yeah. So, so that means, so he's very cute that way. Yeah. So we all have breakfast with him, and there's a small chit chat and a little bit of, uh, and then he doesn't talk work. Then he's in a better. So we chit chatting and other things, and that's how it's so many times. Yeah.
So good. Nice, nice.
He keeps it very light in the morning. Breakfast is always like light for
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice. Right. And dude, I mean, how long have you been working with Sir? Is it
Oh, I started in 2010 with this new studio in Mumbai, Andheri,
wow,
Mumbai Powai.
wow,
So I was looking after the studio when
10
it was
years.
under construction, and I'm really glad and thankful to Aditya Modi to introduce me to Sir. Aditya Modi is Sir's
Right. So that's
ex-engineer.
how you met him for the first time.
That's how I met. Yeah, I think Aditya believed in me.
Hmm.
So I worked very hard. So
Hmm.
at those times, and yeah, he put me to the studio, and I was in charge of the studio. It was very slow process of Sir and me mingling. I
Hmm.
think when Sir came to know I am also Tamil, I think that's when he opened up. So he confirmed it with me. You're Tamil? And I'm like, yes, sir, I'm Tamil. So
So you're actually
and
Tamil. I thought
I'm
you
I'm
had
actually
I
I'm
thought you
actually
had
Tamil,
picked up
but
Tamil because of your stay in Chennai.
no, I'm actually Tamil. My parents are from Chennai, and but I've been born and brought up in Delhi all my schooling, so
Okay.
that's why my Tamil doesn't sound so superb. I think grammar problems. All and you won't believe, there was a time I was doing okay Kanmani, and
Hmm.
Sir would call me, and they would make fun of me for speaking in Tamil. Mani sir will be there, and Sir will tell, okay, speak to Mani sir in Tamil, and I'll speak, and everybody is laughing in the room, and I have no clue what I did say, what I did not say. So I'm like, it was so funny. So okay, many times that time when I was mixing that, yeah. So it was like I was the call him and just make fun of him, that kind of guy. So,
Right. Right. And then so you met him in 2010 and
yeah,
that's where the
2010
journey started.
is, yes.
So with
Oh, my first project. Like technically it was Blue,
hmm.
but I properly, I think, started with Ravan.
Uh-huh.
Ravan was yeah, Ravan. All the Hindi
Yeah.
versions were getting done there.
Hmm.
Yeah, they were actually, Sir was always doing multiple projects. Yeah, so So there is no one project I can say, because I remember Pawai's, like Sir's Mumbai Studios
Mm,
first recording was Jo Bhi Main, Rockstar.
mm,
And that was my first experience, like, with everybody is there. Imtiaz is here, and Ranbir is here, Irshad ji is there, Sir is there, Mohit Chauhan is like, what do I do now? So he's like, so. And so it was, the studio was not even completed,
yeah.
and it was under construction, and Sir just felt, the recording should happen. So it,
Mm,
it, it happened in a situation, it's just a small room,
yeah.
his personal programming room. So recorded there, and Rockstar was happening, Ravan was there. My first proper mix was that Airtel ad in which
Ah,
that green jacket guy was dancing and all. So
no way.
uh,
Really?
yeah, umbai, so like that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
gibberish one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my proper mix. I did a little bit of programming in it, so like was really cool. I think Sir was testing me. So new that, let me check this boy." So yeah.
Nice. And
So
and since you mentioned about Rockstar, talk me through this track, Fir Se Ud Chala, which the track version Hamsa.
ha. So but this Rockstar story goes way deep. So I don't know when can that ever happen, but if the audience comes to hear Sir's versions of all the songs, what he had sung rough
Mm-hmm.
as a reference for the singers, for just Mohit, oh, one must listen to that. I think that is the real magic. So I'll always remember Srinidhi here, and she would dub Sir so many times and comp the voices, and we would be there. And I think Sir's versions have like that soul. I don't know where it came in from and how it was happening. Rockstar goes very deep. So Rockstar's dubbing was, was crisscross. Mohit was dubbing some days, 15 days in Mumbai. Then he was dubbing 15 days in Chennai, and multiple songs, same songs twice. It was a long process. Yeah. So it's so almost everybody dubbed Mohit, like
Right.
Murthy sir, Srinivasan sir, Srinidhi, me, and every vocal dubbing speciality, a special person in Sir's camp dubbed Mohit, so, including Sir. So yeah, so long back, but it was a great time during Rockstar, because how Imtiaz ji would come to Sir, how Ranbir would come week after week for a whole year till the movie was getting done.
Wow.
And because it was Imtiaz ji's first movie with Sir, and he had done with music with other composers back in Bombay,
Mm.
the way he was to Sir, it and the way Sir and Imtiaz ji connected, and the way things turned out was so magical, because one must appreciate the way Imtiaz put the whole project in front of Sir. Sir, this is yours.
Mm.
Whatever you will give me, it will be magical. That's the freedom that he gave to Sir, and that's when the music director gets inspired from the director of the film.
Mm.
I think magic happens, and Rockstar happened, and so there's no question about it. Everybody, I notice all of north of India, every airport, Rockstar is definitely playing, and
Wow.
I've texted Sir also sometimes. Rockstar is always playing after 12, and Rockstar is always playing anywhere. So in the north of India, so really glad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when Imtiaz was there on the podcast, he said all the tracks that Sir has sung, like the track versions, he's
yeah,
got all of them saved on his desktop, on his laptop,
yeah. That
and
is
he
treasure.
he plays that
Yes, yes, yes.
he plays that often rather. That's what he said.
Yes, yes.
And
Imtiaz Bhai is like the most grounded and humble,
mm,
matlab, human I have come across. And the movies that he has done is, I have to still, talk to him and know him more, because it's such a, like, every genre of music, I think, movie he can touch.
yeah.
Tamasha was one movie where, I just went and hugged him.
Mm,
He this movie just, did something to me, so like that.
mm,
And you one must have a session someday when he recites his situation to Sir, It is so cute the way he tells sir, and sir is listening, and okay, fine, that's all. And then last May he will put it, sir, whatever you will do will be magic. So that's how you inspire somebody, I think.
For sure. Have you watched Imtiaz's podcast?
I have not
You
yet.
should.
I
You
will.
will be able to relate to what you just described.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a good 1.5 hours podcast, and it's just pure magic. And
Oh,
not a single second has been edited in this podcast. I left
wow.
it deliberately. I did not want to touch it, and it's so raw and real and very inspirational. You should watch it.
Oh yeah. Both
Yeah.
both Imtiaz ji and Irshad bhai, both are so inspiring. You just sit and talk with them. It's just so much fun.
You you will need to help me out to put a word to Irshad ji, because I met him
Ah,
at the wedding as well, and he said
oh
yes, yes, I'm coming, but I've never heard
yeah.
back from him, and I keep
Oh,
following it
he's
up.
a busy man. I'm so lucky, yeah, fortunate because Imtiaz bhai and Irshad ji, first Rockstar, I was a part of it. Well,
Yeah,
got to mix it. Then Tamasha got to mix it. Then Highway got to mix it. So, well, it's like a long journey back from 2010 till now. So,
nice,
and here there are one more movie with them. So, touch wood. So
so good,
good. I have to be thankful to sir.
so good, and and since we are talking about mixing and mastering and things like that, um, I wanted to ask, like, as part of your mixing, your routine, do you actually get briefs from sir saying this particular sound should traverse from the left speaker to the right and
Yeah,
things like that? Like,
yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
level of inputs does he actually give you? And then, or is this more of a creative freedom for the mixing engineer to try out things? How does it work?
So with sir, no, I would never call it a mixing process because it's always producing and
Mm,
creating, and sir is continuously programming till the end. He doesn't leave the song till the end, keeps on going till the mastering stage. So
yeah.
he is very specific about a lot of things, like his reverbs and his left to right, like you mentioned. That's like one thing that he always is very specific with certain instruments he want to travel.
Mm,
He wants the voice in a certain way. He wants the voices treatment in a certain way. So all that, he is very specific. He's one of those guys who knows everything, yeah, from from the
he's
start
very
till the end.
hands-on.
So yeah, that's something you can't just sit, you can't just tell him ki no, this is right, this is wrong. He knows. You can't say
There's
all
no
that. So
bullshitting.
yeah. And
He'll catch you.
what he does in the last few things, the changes that he makes, it actually brings the song up. Like songs like GRA in Jab Tak Hai Jaan, I had mixed it for so many days and I was so confused how to keep Niti's voice in this, because Bollywood is all about voices, like there right in front, and voice is leading the whole track. But this song was a little groovy song. I had to choose between should I keep the voice inside. And when Sir sits and he did a few things that it just blended. And he knows the plugins, he knows everything, So you can't. And he knows what he wants. The best part is, I think he sees the song much before than all of us, like the final product.
Right.
That's the best thing about him. So that, and that's the challenge. I
Mm,
have to meet him. I have to, I have to align and come and meet him. So that's the challenge. Me as a mixing engineer with him, it has
mm,
to be musical, it has to be groovy, it has to have that movement that makes you move, and plus the soul and
mm.
the vibe that we bring in the song. So with Sir, it's always a very creative process. More than mixing, it is such a creative process. Learning all the time. The songs like Agar Tum Saath Ho, the main groove of the song was changed after I had mastered the song. I had mastered and all, and Sir was going through the album. No, I don't like it. Get my keyboard, Suresh, this, that. We connected the keyboard and Sir played the and and we arranged that very moment on Pro Tools. He's on Logic all the time, but we are mixing on Pro Tools. Finally, of every song is on Pro Tools with Sir.
Yeah.
So, so the final, rhythm was getting programmed after I had mastered the song.
Crazy.
So he's always in that, continuously what's right, what will be good. All that thing happens. And some songs like Ranjana album, Highway album, he trusted me completely,
Mm-hmm.
and he let me do my thing. And every time I would mix, my first mix was getting approved with Sir. Sir wanted that way, and it came out that way.
Mm.
During Coke Studios and all, the Sir was very, very creative. So many things we did, so many things like magic, literally sitting on every track with him, and he's going through every detail.
Mm.
So yeah.
So good, man. I love it. I love stories like this. And and also something recently that you mentioned to me when we were having a chat is when the Malayalam Kunju movie came out, and then I still play Cholapanne every day. I
Yeah.
absolutely love this track. That's number one. I also love the quality, and it's crystal clear. And
Mhm.
something that you specifically said that you had mixed it like in international quality. And
Yeah, I had to match it. Yeah, that way.
right. Talk me through that. Like, what did you have to do something different for that?
Oh, yeah. It's see, the first thing that comes from Sir is the composition and the producing that happens on the track. So,
Right.
so already Sir had made it sound so good. It was
Okay.
when I received it, it was already so good. So when something is so good, what you do, you should not do sometimes. Like, you should know that if it is so good. So Sir had treated the song that way.
Yeah.
Like, he had kept it very crisp, clean, and less programming, but sounding big.
Yeah.
So when it is already sounding so good, you don't mess with it. You just take it a little notch up from
Mm.
where it is. So I just made those just smart corrections in it and followed what Sir had already done. So keeping that in mind, the vocal treatment is always that I go treat it like how the international singers treat, like, it's there, but it's not hurting your ears. It's pleasant, but it's also present.
Mm.
So that treatment is what I'll go through. And it is a lot of listening that happens in this process, like A and B checking and a lot of mixing, that hit and trial happens. And there comes a point when you keep working on it, there comes that moment, okay, this is it, what the song demands. Because I think it's the way we put across the song, no, to the people and the audience from the platform and all. It has to touch. So you can't take away the magic from it, and but you have to treat it in a way that it sounds international. When playing it against some 10 other songs stand like that. So that was something I was very careful about, both the songs in Malayan Kunju.
Yeah.
Even in Cobra, Sir's programming is
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
So he programs that way deliberately. He programs when it's a Poni Nadi, he has
Mm.
programmed in a way that it sounds very Indian, raw, big, the sounds of India, and the rhythm that you've noticed, the huge rhythm, it's all Indian. So he has produced it that way. He's so careful. So when it's a Bollywood movie, or when it's a Hindi
Mm.
movie, so he produces it that way. It's so natural to him.
Wow.
So, and we treat it that way. So it's and he's a damn good producer. So no doubt. So he does his thing. So sometimes, yeah, that's a big advice I will put it across to all the fellow engineers. And I think most of the senior engineers, everybody knows this. When something is so good, you don't do. So when
Mm.
you don't do when something is already so good, so that's like a very important thing. One, otherwise everybody wants to overdo. Everybody just
Mm.
overdoes. When
Mm.
you overdo, then you're spoiled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Um,
Yes.
s- Something that just occurred to me while you were describing this. When you mentioned that when Sir's composition comes to you, like for example that Cholapanne track, and it was so good that he had produced it. Just wanted to ask, like when Sir gets into his composing zone, if I can call it that way, Do you know how, having spent time with Sir for the last over decade and a bit, do you know how he actually approaches the composition? Like does he go with composing the melody part first and then, or this, there may not be a set routine or certain pattern that he would do. I'm sure that might be the case, but how does he actually do it? Like what's just talk me through what he does, like as far as you have experienced.
Yeah. So with Sir here, I feel it's the only composer I would say that composes a song according to the situation given to him. So
Yeah.
he comes into that zone, and he comes he feels it, and he has that situation in his mind, and that's
Mm,
when he sits for his composition. So
mm,
he's composing always alone, so that's
yep,
his space, his time.
yep,
So we all are aware, waiting outside the studio, we should not disturb Sir, and that is very like a standard rule
I'm aware.
in all across all the panchatans now. So
Yeah.
that happens. And during this composing process, what I have noticed is like a lot of sections that Sir goes on. So it's like sometimes it's like a 30 minutes composition, sometimes he's just
Yeah.
on and on, sometimes it's a very short. So there is no certain, like, fixed pattern where he
Mm,
composes the, you know charanam first or pallavi first, or this is one
correct.
that all happens later. But when he composes, I've noticed that half the producing happens then and there. He's so fast with his
Wow.
programming. And yeah, so there are 2 to 3 stages when Sir sits on the song, and the song is already bloomed, like it's ready. So the first stage, while composing itself, most of the songs, like Highway is the best example.
Yeah.
So Highway, while composing, he had programmed, like in the first go itself. So Mahi Way and all was already
I
done.
remember I was
So
actually going to
so
touch on
we
that particular track because when Imtiaz was on the podcast, he very clearly mentioned that as part of that 30-minute composition that he had done, he really
yeah.
absolutely loved the Mahive part, and then he wanted Sir to make that as a song because he was so hooked to it.
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah. I also, that song was so magical, and I've seen so many people playing it back
yeah,
in their shows, and lot of people perform, and lot of people love My Way
mm,
the way it is. So while programming itself, Sir had done sorry, while composing that 30-minute song, Sir had done half the programming then and there
yeah,
itself. So that's how it was. But so the most difficult challenge that Srinidhi or me or whoever was comping the voices after Sir's composition was like, to what part to be taken, and what. So that also only Sir knew. Only Sir knew which one will be the Charanam, which one will be the Pallavi, or Mukda or Antra. Only Sir knows that. So that's, and it's in his head. So sometimes so most of the time, no, you will also see that so many words in Tamil songs, the
mm,
main hook line or the main word of the song is by Sir himself, even before the lyricist.
yeah.
Yeah, so most of the time. So many times. So it has happened now
So good.
that it's the main word, the main inspiring word of this whole song is by Sir. He gives the words to the lyricist, and then the lyricist is working on it. So many times. So I've always loved that thing. So like super magical that is, because that one word is inspiring him to complete the whole song.
Indeed,
That's crazy.
indeed.
And oh yeah, one such story is like yeah,
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, you
you're
have.
saying
No, no, I wasn't saying. I said indeed.
one such story was yeah, one such story is the other way, like Irshadji obviously. So Sir was after him, give me a word, give me a word, something, because Hindi, he expects the words from the lyricist. so
Yeah.
so Irshadji, I think, messaged him a word called Sadda Haq. And sir just asked, what's the meaning of the word? So Sadahak is like my right. It's mine. So it's like, and you won't believe Sadahak was produced, made, composed within 6 hours in Bombay studio, and he was done. And the way he worked those 6 hours, he did not even turn around and to see who's coming in, who's going out. No water, no coffee, no nothing. That's the level of focus that Sir goes. And Sadhak was done like in 6 hours, like, and wow. And then he comes up with, oh, let's get Orianti to record, let's get this kind of chorus, let's get this kind of guitar layering, and so many things in his head. So that's the magic of that song. That's the focus that he put in the song so much that it's playing out like this. So
Absolutely, man.
yeah. So similarly, uh, uh, we were on the way from Powai studio to Yashraj,
Hmm.
and Irshad ji had texted the word tum tak. And sir's like, Nitish, what is the meaning of tum tak? I guess tum tak is till you, until you. So this one, oh, okay. And he had already composed the song in his head, I think. So evening when we were back to the studio, the song was done, and the song Tum Tak's composition was like, oh,
Yeah,
chills.
man.
So
I remember
and
looping like crazy when that song released.
oh yeah. So lucky to have mixed that album. And matlab, it's so, sometimes it is so difficult to mix songs because
Yeah.
you lose yourself. So but I have to come back to that correct zones. I have to take it next level. So many songs in the movie Kadal, Mongil Totem
Mm-hmm.
was such song. I could not mix the song for 2 days. Just sitting, listening, working, closing, sitting, listening, working, closing. So could not do that. So I had to come to a zone. Ki, okay, no. I have to focus like that. So sir, songs do that to you.
Of course. And
Yeah.
and since you mentioned Ranjana, anything that comes to your mind when we talk about Tumunshudi?
Tumanshudi. Mm,
I love that track, man, and it's like
yeah.
crazy. It's one of the gems.
Yeah. Tumanshudi was one of the tracks that came during the last versions of Ranjana. Like the main album was already done,
Hmm.
and I don't know, that day was Sukhvinder in the house also was there. To can't recall that
Okay.
specifically, but something that but again, this track happened in a day's time.
Hmm.
Like when he's in mood, yeah, he's finishing songs like so. To Manchudi's programming just happened. I have a vague memory that even Sukhvinder Paji was there
Okay.
in the house, and I think they were there. I think so for recording something else, and then this happened. So it was like a quick dub. Like everything was happened very quickly. He quickly programmed a groove, and he had something in
Nice.
his head, and
Nice.
then he went and sung. Yeah,
Nice. And obviously when Sir works, he always has the candle lit.
not always. This is all only while composing.
Yeah, of course. While
Only while composing or
right.
special moments, like real special moments. That's
Right.
that's when, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, nice.
I
And
think that inspires him and
for sure,
brings
man.
more.
Like even
Yeah.
I have candles here,
Wow.
but I've not lit. But I light a tea light candle every day,
Okay.
and this is my workspace as well here. So
Okay.
I I I'm very heavily inspired with that, that idea, and then because I work in IT, and then it's very stressful and stuff. So it's kind of a
Sir's way of.
nice distraction for me as well, and the aroma. So
Oh yeah.
uh,
Oh,
I
sir is
wanted to
also
ask.
very fond of aromas.
Yeah, of course, yeah, indeed. I wanted to ask you something. So, I'm not sure that you would have actually made a count of this. Do you have a count of the number of songs that you have mixed so far for Sir? Have you ever
Oh,
thought about it?
I've never thought about it. Actually, it's been going on, and I still don't count.
Yeah.
But I'm
And
really
I
grateful.
hope it never stops.
Touch wood, that I hope the trust remains. and
It
and
will.
my thing for sir is like, because I stay in Bombay. It's very highly competitive in Bombay, so I keep a track of everything that's happening around. And I go back to sir because that's my first place to go to.
Mm,
And I bring everything that I can to the plate, so to know match
mm.
our standards with the international level. So that is my duty is there, so I'm heavily responsible for that. So
Yes.
when a song is mixed by me, or if I'm sitting on the song, so it has to touch easily touch and surpass those standards
Mm.
of mixing goals and etc. So yeah, but yeah, matlab it's been since Rockstar, Ravan, all Hindi movies at least.
Nice.
So at least I've been a part of, never counted, and even Tamil.
Yeah.
So our finalizing of
And you worked
album.
on Ponniyin Selvan too.
Yeah, all these last five, Malayan, Kunju, Ponniyin, VTK. VTK is doing great.
I love it,
Malipu
man.
is
I
doing
love the
great.
soundtrack. I haven't watched the movie yet, but I love the
Imagine
song.
Malipu was totally different. So when it was composed, and Sir took a call to make it, a little, into that zone. So this how Sir flips the song, and then there you go.
That
So
created the magic.
this last minute, everything was last minute. Yeah. So and it's doing great, and
Was
then
that more like what how Sir likes to call a happy accident or something?
happy.
You know the
Hap-
term he uses, right?
yes, but I think Sir is way too smart. I think he knows
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it already. I think he sees it much before than all of us,
Mm,
much before the average regular people. so,
yeah,
so,
yeah,
yeah, I think he sees it much before.
right. And
And also, he always wants to do new things. He doesn't want to repeat what he has done. So that's really good about him. It puts us also in challenge. Ki, yaar, it has to be new.
mm, yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And as Sir repeatedly says, in at least in some of the recent interviews, he always goes seeking excellence, right? So
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best part. And at the same time, I mean, what an amazing leader or under the leadership to work under, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Where
that's
guys
what
get
that's
in.
what it's not just work. It is the
Mm,
whole vibe, persona,
mm,
energy around him that helps us all, you know what we are. Matlab, I have learned he's a huge school in himself, so
indeed.
there is so much to learn from him,
Mm,
and it is still going on. It's not ending. It's still going on
it should
every
never
time.
end.
And it also he keeps himself up to date, like,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
everything, like everything.
I agree.
He's a master in that. Like if it is a new plugin, if it is a new hardware, if it is a new music, and he listens to everything, and he appreciates
New
everything.
gadget.
Yeah, gadget I think keeps the young him. so so my my friends to sir keep saying, yeah, what is happening to sir? He's aging backwards. Please tell him to not. Yeah, touch wood.
Yeah.
So I always mention it to ma'am. So the styling that has happened in the last couple of years, wow. The new look though, I really love the sharp one with
Yeah,
that new
and
shades. Yeah.
even the glasses, I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ma'am chooses.
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good. I absolutely love his
So good,
glasses.
no? Yeah.
And he looks insanely cute in those interviews, man. The recent ones. Like
Yeah.
this morning I was watching the one with what's that Fully Filmy or whatever that channel was called, and then Sir Mani Sir and Aishwarya Rai were there in that interview. He looked so cute, and then with that that kurta as well, and then the glasses.
Yeah. True.
And dude, I mean, since you've worked on Ponniyin Selvan, talk me through the mixing of this soundtrack, man. And I'm sure this is going to be something super memorable.
Yeah, Ponniyin Selvan was a task, yeah. I think one engineer could not finish the songs. There were multiple engineers on the project. Like
Mm.
Suresh was there, I was there, and Pradve was there, Chetan was there. So it
Mm.
was not like one person job, because first of all, languages. Each song was 5 languages,
Yeah.
and yes, so that itself is heavy, because the singing is so heavy in everyone with the layers of the
Mm.
voices. I think my song though was the most heavy with the. It was called Monkey Chants in the beginning, and then Devaram
Yeah,
Atam. So
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that song had some 15 layers of chorus voices,
Phew.
and like 15 layers multiplied by the choruses, like 8 to 15 singers on every
Wow.
track, layer. So, and then the languages, like starting with Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Malayalam, Kannada, all that. So each engineer had 1 to 2 song to
Mm.
do that. It was like a task to achieve within the time span. Also had to deliver the album, so very challenging. And sir also sitting with you while
Yeah.
mixing every song. Yeah, went
Wow.
through every song. So was a task. It was not easy for sure. This one
And
was not easy.
you did mix the Alaikadal track too, right?
Alai Kadal, I did not mix Alai Kadal. I just
Mm.
started it a little bit, but Pradve had mixed.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, Pradve. Then
it's amazing,
Suresh had
man.
mixed Poni Nadi and Chola. I had mixed Devaran
Mm.
Atam and
And Rakshasa Mama, you did?
Rakshasama Pradeep,
Right.
Alai Kadal Pradve, and then last one me.
Right.
This album could not be done by one engineer.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
Not
So which
not possible.
means that you mixed one track but 5 different languages.
Yeah.
So you owned the track for all the languages.
Yes.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So one guy responsible for all the languages.
That's
So
great.
yeah.
And
So
that itself is like working on an entire soundtrack with 5 songs.
Ayo, 5 songs. That is 5 songs. And
Yeah.
also you have to be so careful, because all the diction, pronunciation, accenting, everything changes no with language.
Because I was just curious because since you're mixing the same track for 5 different languages, you couldn't do a copy paste or something, right? No, I'm just
No such thing. There's
so
no
you
such.
can't
I
template
wish
it.
no such thing, because everything changes. Yeah, different singers first of all,
Correct.
so different pronunciation, different throw, and
Yeah.
the Telugu is sounding very rhythmic, and like Malayalam is sounding very, like melodic, with the languages and the words
Yeah.
in it. So so changes, reverbs change, everything changes.
Mm.
So I also thought ki arey, I'll do it. So what? So like when I started off, it's like 15 chorus layers. And my song was the heaviest in the vocals. They were not as just voice,
Correct.
and sir created the rhythm out of the voice. Like,
Oof.
so he made them sing in a certain way, and then it was converted into rhythm, and he's doing all those crazy things in it. So it was
Insane of a
damn.
track, man.
Mine was damn heavy.
Yeah. I can
Heavier
imagine.
than, I think, Poni Nadi and Devaran was the heaviest song.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I loved Suresh's mix in Poni Nadi. I enjoyed. I keep
This,
telling him ki
this
this one
morning
sounds
I
great.
looped that track for like about an hour and a half. It just kept playing in repeat mode.
Yeah.
And then Devaranatam, this one played in like in my car. It goes nuts, man.
Oh
With
yeah. Yeah, that
Harman
song.
K
That
speakers, it
song
goes nuts.
has. Oh, I went crazy when at the audio launch.
Yeah.
So happy that the audio launch started with Devar and Atom. So like, na. So superb it was. So that,
Right.
and the presentation was crazy.
Mm. And
Yeah.
dude, I mean, you you've been obviously, been in the mixing space for quite a while now. What are some of the creative highs and lows that you've come across, man, in your journey? Like, what is a creative high for you? Like, for example, uh, I'm just making it up. It may not be a creative high for you. For example,
Mm.
if let's say for me, if I was mixing the Cholapane track, which came in such good quality even before I start my work, I would be so excited. I'm like, oh wow, this is insane. So that's sort of a high for me. Okay. And but I don't want to answer for you, but I'm just what's a creative high for you?
Yeah. So a creative high, I would say, when I'd go back to the Hindi albums
Mm,
that we did back then, because it is such a challenging thing for the whole team, including the whole directional team and Sir and everybody. So when such big hit albums are going on, where Ashiki 2,
mm,
it's already an epic legendary album going on, then Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, Sir throws in a Ranjana, boom. And then the kind of music that was in Ranjana was uncomparable. So while you're working, you don't realize, but after releasing, you actually don't realize. While doing Tamasha, I had no clue that Agar Tum Saath Ho will become
mm,
so big, so huge, and it's 200 million plus views today. And I just recently came to know Tamasha is 1.5 billion streams globally.
yeah.
So wow, so the level of work that was going on in during Tamasha, we don't realize. But my challenge in the creative high is I have to be the best sounding possible. Like, even if today Tamasha songs are played next to any latest release or any latest song, it has to sound so clean, so good, and so big at the same time. So
Mm,
similar to how I said, it has to look good, smell good, and also taste good. It
mm,
has to do that. So that creative achievement in mixing stage is a very challenging thing, because you get compared, you will get compared
mm,
uh, in the long run. So that has to sound good. So Ranjana, the songs were so soulful. So the treatment was also very soulful. The reverbs used
mm,
were very, very thought behind. And it was Sir who sat along and,
yeah.
ऐसे करते हैं, like let's do it this way, let's automate it, let's bring it up, let's bring it down. So those
Mm,
creative mixing processes with Sir during the Hindi albums are always, it has like there. And Tamil, to no doubt, it's like Sir, it's like natural.
mm,
But it's all the things that Sir experiments during the mixing process becomes the creative high for somebody like me, who is sitting
mm.
throughout the mix. And during the mix, it's only Sir and me. There's nobody else in the
Right,
room.
right.
So there is no. So so sometimes it sounds great. He jumps off the chairs with so much excitement, and I really love to see that side of him, because and he becomes more creative when he's in that happy zone. Oh, let's do this, let's do that, okay, let's try this. It should not be like before, it should be new.
Mm,
So let's bring the keyboard, connect this, and let's play the harp. And so many things that happens. And in that creative process, so many changes happen in the song, the last stage, and the song will not sound same when it releases. So yeah, so there is no mixing process, like, technically, but there is always a programming and producing process throughout till
mm.
the mastering stage. So Sir doesn't leave the song, so it's only creative. So your question is like answered in your question itself, because it's only creative from the start till the end.
Mm.
It's always high.
Nice. And is
Yeah.
there a low, creative low at all?
Your creative low would be when the label pressurizes you to submit the album like then and
Mm,
there. And Sir also doesn't have time, because he's doing multiple projects. And we don't get the time to spend on the song. A song is something, I think, every person on the song should get that time to spend on the song, to I think blend within the song and spend and balance and mix and put it out. But sometimes you get pressurized from the directors and all, because of bad planning and less time, etc. So that's when we have to finish the song overnight, like in one day's time. And that's, I feel that becomes a little, we could have done
right,
better. Yeah,
right.
that happens when you're doing multiple movies,
I can,
20 movies and all you're doing.
I can
So
imagine.
yeah.
Since you mentioned about the label, I can't resist myself asking this question. You mentioned about the pressure more from a submission perspective and all.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
aspect, I agree. Yep.
It is changed. No, it is now changed. Look at the time when it was before. It was just cassettes and CDs,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and YouTube was also not a thing. But now the streaming platforms have so many rules. Like Spotify wants the track 14 days before, and so all that submission for metadata.
Is that right? Is that how it is? 14 days
Yeah,
before
the
you have to
stream
submit.
minimum 7 days before,
Foof.
so that they could. They are right, because there are a lot of planning that happens when the song gets submitted. They place it in a way in a certain playlist, and they need to have plan a promotion for the song. So it's a long list, like, how to put the, what should be the theme that should come when somebody's looking at the song. So the submission and all is like very, very crucial now. So it has to go much, much before.
Right,
Can't do those last minute submissions like how we used to.
right, right.
Like, giving the CD, and day after tomorrow is full album release.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I do have a question relating to that, but I'll come to that a bit later. But with the music label thing that we just spoke about, or the pressure from the producer or the director, whatever that is, it's your choice to either answer this or not answer. But we all know for the fact that Sir likes to try out new voices, and
Yeah.
just imagine the number of lives he has touched,
Oh yeah.
as part of his journey, and he's continuing to do so. Like even in
Yes.
a magnum opus like Ponniyin Selvan, it has got new singers, right? So
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say here is obviously there might have been certain soundtracks, or I'm just saying may not even have been the case where the music label or the producer or the director has a preferred singer over a singer who has obviously already
It is
sung.
happening, yeah. So
Mhm.
it is happening, not just with Sir, everybody. So it's a
Right.
pressure
Mm.
that producers or the labels, they expect or want. So because they're looking at the business point of view, we're
Correct.
looking at the music point of view. So they're also not wrong, but they're also not experimental. So it happens that a producer comes in and looks at a certain insta number of a certain singer, and then he wants that name on the singer because of purely
Hmm.
from the music business point of view. I think it's not wrong. So it's not wrong. And but but with somebody like Sir, I think one should trust, because he's always put a new voice and he's put it
Yeah.
in the grandest way, because
Hmm.
only he can make a singer sound new to the same, to the singer himself, explores. Okay, I can sound like this. Like, I was blown away when when Masakali came, Mohit Chauhan, while Mohit Chauhan was doing what, and suddenly comes Masakali, and I was like, this same guy can sound like this also, and magic. And then from Masakali to Rockstar. So
Yeah.
this only Sir does. So I think the labels and producers should trust when it's Sir, and leave it to him, because he
Hmm.
invents sounds even on voices.
Hmm.
So I think one should leave that space to him.
I
I
agree.
feel.
And did you work on Atrangi Re too?
Atrangi, yeah, all recordings we were doing in Bombay,
Yeah.
part and partial. So it is always this way. All Hindi work will happen in Bombay anyhow. So
Right.
no Hindi work happens only in Chennai. So it all happens. So I'm a part of it any which ways.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Atrangi Day was during the lockdown, no? Was a
Yeah.
little
Yeah. Very
in
much.
that,
Very much.
it started that. Yeah, yeah. So whoever was in Chennai, I was I was pre-mixing, pre-recording, sending, and whenever Sir sat on it, so mixing there. But Sir was producing on and off so many songs. Like,
Yeah.
Arijit, usually I only coordinate for Sir. I
Yeah.
always connect with Arijit, and always get it to
But
him.
he
So
recorded from his home, na?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. At that time, yeah,
Right.
I wanted him to come to the studio, but he's comfortable dubbing himself, so
Yeah.
we were fine with it. Yeah.
Amazing, man. Um, this is another question that I wanted to ask you is, obviously, you mix tracks day in and day out, right? Uh, and how should I put it? I don't want to say that it becomes a mundane kind of thing to work on, and then or it turns out to be a fatigue. But how do you keep yourself motivated and excited when you work on a track, man? Like on a daily basis. Because on a
Well,
daily basis, you're sort of doing the same thing, right? In
yeah, but different songs. so,
right.
so the song is the inspiration, yeah, mostly.
Mm,
The song is the inspiration, and Sir is himself an inspiration on the song, and the briefs that you get from him
right.
are really inspiration, because he's always looking at it in a very new point of view. He wants a new sound on it. He wants a new experiment on it. He wants a new reverb on it.
Mm,
So no, so he lets you. He gives you that freedom. So try something. I'm going to be there. So I'll come sit.
mm,
So yes, but yeah, when you're working, you have to keep taking breaks. You have to have the fun moment. We are all so many. We are like somewhat how many bunches of people in Panchatan? So many people.
mm.
So usually, I've noticed I am the one who is trying to keep a very chill mode in Chennai with in Sir's studio. Like, okay, come on, let's take a break. Let's eat something and then come back. Okay, let's have a juice or something or the other. So I think
Yeah.
I was the only engineer in Sir's this whole last 3-4 months going to the gym also and coming back.
Mm.
Otherwise, I don't think anybody could escape to the gym. So I was keeping a little lively. Have to do, I think so, to keep yourself charged up. This is the most difficult thing also, keeping your oneself motivated all the time. It
Mm.
is not easy. So like that. So in our case, we are blessed to be in Sir's presence. Also, Sir's songs, no, they are not like regular. Okay, let's make a hit song. So it's
Correct.
like it's a creative song. It starts where, goes where, and there's so many things in the
Yeah.
song happening. You start keep noticing, with every listen. You just keep discovering some new sound, new thing, new
Mm.
new variation. So the focus and the fun in discovering that itself is so much motivating yourself. To not get ear fatigue, you have to keep taking breaks, have a little fun moment, come back, sit, and again go into your. I think your persona transfers in the song.
Agreed.
If you're a very serious kind of guy all the time and not laughing, giggling, and it'll show in the song. I think so.
I love that. And does give you a certain genre of songs to you for you to mix, or like
No, that
anything
that I choose.
comes to
That
you?
I
Or,
choose.
oh, you get to
That I
choose.
choose. I choose. I will go through Sir's song carefully,
Mm.
and I'll see every element. I'll see everything is in place. Then I'll choose a song that where I want to take it to. That's my personal way of working.
Right.
Like I would if I wanted to make it sound like a Coldplay, I'll start listening. I'll if I want to make it sound something better than that, I'll listen to everything. This is something where you say, not getting fatigue. You have to listen
Mm,
to everything.
mm.
Come back to the song. So that's a little thing that I keep practicing.
Nice.
You have to listen to everything. So and you have to work that way. So
Very
I
cool.
I choose a genre and I choose a song and I keep going and coming back to a song. So
Mm.
that's like a challenge I take upon myself. So it has
Nice.
to be sounding there. So
Nice.
I have to do that. Yeah.
And as a mixing and mastering engineer, do you set a goal for yourself? Like
Yeah.
what's the way
All
forward for you? Like what are you thinking?
all
Or,
all the time it
or where are
has
you
to
working
match
towards rather?
it. Working towards the goal is obviously
Excellence.
with that one song is the achievement that happens on that song. It has to the composer's whole vibe has to translate first of all. So I cannot go into that and make changes to that. So that is so difficult to bring that whole composition and taking it out in the same way, but doing your thing to make the international standards match with the this one is, I think, most difficult. Like I told you last in my just a few minutes back, by doing not by knowing not to do is it's very difficult. So everybody just tends to go for it in the flow.
Less
But
is more.
yeah, that is there. So to know where to stop is also it's like
True.
that comes with experience, I think.
Right.
So yeah. So that is also that's also a whole thing. And also you have to listen to everything what's going on around the world, looking at a Bieber's album, what is he doing, looking at a, like, um the Baby's album, or little Nas's album, or this Dua Lipa's album. So many international artists that one must keep listening to. And then Hindi, there's Pritam, there is Amit Trivedi, so many people.
Mm.
It's such a vast this one. You got to keep a check on everything, and ours should sound the best. So it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, I like the way you summed it up. So you need to be very well informed about
Oh,
what's
you have
happening
to.
around you.
Yeah. You can't just ignore and think that, okay, oh, what I am doing is the best. You have to keep a check on everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, have with the journey that you've had so far and the journey that's yet to come with Sir and many others, but stick with Sir.
Always.
What do your parents have to say, man? Like, how do they feel?
Oh, they are proud. They are proud ki I work with sir, and parents, family, so many people. They are definitely proud of it. And so proud that my mother keeps pushing me, go to Chennai only, stay there only. Don't come. So it's stay with sir, work with sir, because I think it passes, the vibe passes. No, you with sir, you bring in some vibe, and then you come back home, and it passes on. So I think they can feel it. So it's all safe, nice, and great environment to learn from. So I
Of
think
course.
that's how it is, I think.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
And how should I put it? So one thing that I remember you mentioned in Chennai is the fact that yourself and Suresh are the only ones who are not from KM, and everyone
Oh
else
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah. Currently, if you come there, so every assistant at the moment is a KM passer, which is a great thing. No, so
Yeah,
look at
indeed.
KM, the way it has grown. I am very proud of KM, from the foundation time till
Hmm.
now.
Yeah,
How the students have turned out, and sir, how sir picks up the talent.
correct.
So it's very good that opportunity the KM kids make
Hmm.
to reach a place which they have just dreamt of. That's really good.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
Suresh and me to go way back. Like, I started in 2010 in Bombay to handle the studio and Sir's stuff. I think Suresh also similar time, 2009-10. He
oh,
started working with Sir in Chennai. Yeah.
hmm. Okay. Yeah, so good. And dude, it's almost close to 2 hours
Really?
since we started this podcast, and it's insane. We still
Oh
have
my
so much
god.
to talk.
Oh
Uh,
my god. But I would like to we can fade out in audio terms a little bit. But I'm really grateful, thankful. So I'm thankful to you for covering uh, this small podcast we should have done long back.
no, it's my honor, man. I mean, it's so good to hear these memories, the experiences, and something that will be cherished, not just by myself, even all, how crazy Sirs fans are. They
Oh
love to
yes,
hear
yes,
stories like this,
yes,
and
yes.
it brings a smile on their faces. And also the likes of yourself when you talk through the process of mastering and how you approach things. I get lots of messages from a number of fans who are aspiring mastering engineers or getting into the music industry or whatever that is, and they say that they actually go back to the channel, revisit some of the podcasts, and then take notes even. And some of the
Ah,
KM students also message me saying they find it absolutely informative.
yeah,
And this is just this. I love learning new things. I mean, there are so many terms that I have learned as part of this journey, which I had no clue about in the past. Like major, minor, and all, I had no clue what they were. And then now, even now, like as simple as what is mixing, what is mastering, these things have I've 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 gained all this knowledge part of this as part of this journey, which I'm
correct.
absolutely thrilled about. Otherwise, I would just be, so unaware about the stuff that goes behind every single track. Like for example,
Oh yeah,
we mentioned about we touched on this thing when Poni Nadi track came up. The long list of people in the credit list makes
yeah,
me wonder, like how on earth so many people work on just one track, right?
yeah.
So you wouldn't know, like there's so many things involved, like
Oh yeah.
additional programming and chorus and whatnot. List is long.
It is, yeah, it's a lot of things. It's layers and layers of
Yeah.
work that makes it sound so big. So, we just enjoy on a phone or a headphone or a AirPod, but it's the way to make it sound so big. And
Yeah.
it's the idea behind that sir puts, and also he makes sure that everything is done live, and he makes sure that it is recorded from string section to the whole rhythm section. So it's like really, it's all in his head. So he's already planned it that way. So he wants that grand sound for the song. So
Amazing.
that's yeah.
That's the best part about him. And it's just an idea that occurred to me while we were talking. So, what if I edit this podcast and bounce off the audio into WAV file and give it to you to master?
Why not? I don't mind, no problem. I
Will
don't
be
mind, it's
okay.
my,
Let
yeah, we can process and I can give it back to you. It'll sound good.
Yeah,
So
that's why, because my processing, I wouldn't even want to talk about it.
no, let's do it, no problem. I
Would that be
immediate.
okay? Because I feel after having, a cool mastering engineer here, uh, w- I want the audio to sound top notch.
Definitely, we are doing this. We can blend
Awesome.
some music also. If we'll plan, when I'm like speaking about tamasha, we'll play a little bit of we can do that. We
I'll
can do
leave
that.
that part to you.
Done, done.
Awesome.
All the
So good. And
babies.
dude, 2 hours into this podcast, and
Wow.
I
We'll
think
chop it.
I've,
We'll trim a little bit.
n- it's going to be very less trimming because I don't want to
I
touch. Because
we
editing, I
I have a feeling. I have a feeling that if we are done with the podcast, we
not
or
yet. It's still going.
so once we are done, I'll come after that. Once we close.
Right. So now, of course, it's close to 2 hours, and we've touched on various topics. Um, is there a topic that I haven't touched on and you want to talk about? I don't want you to go away
uh,
from that room thinking, damn it, I didn't talk about that, or he didn't ask me about this.
hmm,
Could be anything.
we're
Anything
pretty
you feel
much
that the
covered.
fans know about that and then that we have not spoken about.
I I think we covered pretty much everything. So only thing is, like, a lot of people might not know the movies that I've done because of
Mhm.
the way the crediting has become. So all the Hindi movies from Rockstar, Jab Tak Hai Jaan, Highway, and
Mhm.
Tamasha, so many movies. Kadal, Okay Kanmani, Okay Janu. So I've forgotten. I'll share a link under our this one. So I think that is one thing that I would like to mention. All the Coke Studios, all MTV Unplugged
Yeah.
were mixed, so was a crucial part. This one. One thing that happens at Sir's place is that an engineer is involved from stage one,
Mm.
from the day of composition, from programming to recording to the final singer recording, scratch mix, and then shoot mix, and then mixing and the final mixing, the same engineer will finish the song most of the time though.
Amazing.
So that really helps the involvement, of the engineer in this process. So
Mm.
that's really good thing that happens with sir's work. And that is a mention that should happen.
Wow,
Yeah,
I didn't know about this. That I
yeah,
basically
I've
thought
been.
that a mixing engineer just gets called in when a track is ready to be mixed.
Yeah, but because see, people like Suresh, me, we have been part of Sir's
Mm.
uh, for quite a long time. We have been a part of the whole process since
Mm.
day one. So, from the first meeting that the director is coming and briefing, we are a part of it. So we know
Mm.
how Sir is approaching this whole thing. So we
Mm.
also approach. So I do ask Sir, okay, Sir, I want to treat this album commercial. Can I? Like Tamasha, I had taken the permission from Sir. So this is like a proper, like a very colorful and
Mm.
commercial album. Can I treat it this way? So he was like, yes. And then Okay Kanmani and Okay Janu
Mm.
also. So I had asked permission. Then Ranjana happened just magically. So Sir loved all the mixes that I was doing.
Mm.
He loved the sound of it. He loved the treatment, and it just went. There was no even on AB, multiple mix versions and all. This was Coke Studio is something Sir wanted to touch some international standards. So he sat and sat. We did a lot of things. Sir worked a lot on it.
Amazing.
So we do discuss. I at least do ask Sir, how he's looking at it, how he wants it. And my challenge is always, like I've told you, it has to be the best. Like if it is playing around next to some Bieber track, also our song also should play
Nice.
then and there. So it has to be that good. So
Nice.
yeah.
Great. Awesome. So on that note, here's the moment for you to give a message for Sir via your
For
podcast.
Sir, there's no message that I can give for Sir. So
Sir
I love.
watches every single message from
I
every
know.
podcast.
I, I know. I know. So it's so I think I am grateful to Sir, and the connect that I have with Sir, the understanding that I have with Sir, the trust that he has in him, he has in me, the trust that he has in me. And because it's his baby when he creates his song and he gives it to somebody, a mixing engineer like me. So that's a big trust that comes in, and
Mm.
I uh, I pass it on with the vibe, whatever we work on it, truly on it. So I we know that the amount of focus and the amount of energies we put in the song. And I love Sir. There's no I've never mentioned, but I do. So for him as a person, the work though comes like much later. So learned so much all these years, and still learning, and still the challenge that I take up to impress him every time, with the things that we can do in mixing stages or producing stages or other creative stages. Even at the live shows, I've been with him on the live show for 8 long years, and the grand concerts that we have done. And yeah, so there's no words that I can express uh, of working with Sir. It's too difficult
Nice.
for
Nice.
me to. Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm a part of the family, and I'm just happy about it.
And you'll continue to be. And we love it. Nice work.
Yeah.
Dude, I had so much fun talking to you in this podcast, man. And 2 hours
Oh
of
yes,
conversations. And
I had so much fun
I
expressing myself.
we could have obviously gone for another 2 hours, but I have to let you work, and I also have to go and get some sleep.
Thank you so much for taking out
But I
time.
love it. I love it. I love this journey, and I love talking to folks like you. And then I've been very looking forward to talking to you ever since the time that we met in Chennai in June, because the energies just clicked like this. And then I knew for sure that your podcast was going to be a long one.
Oh God. Oh,
Great.
man. Thank you so much
that's a
for
wrap for this podcast. What is it that you wanted to talk about? Which will not come in the podcast.
I think
Correct. None of these things will come in the podcast anyway.
yeah. I trust you. Go through
चीज़
that.
चीज़ बड़ी चीज़ ओ मेरी जान चीज़ बड़ी चीज़ ओ मेरी जान